The number one question I get around conversion rates is, Tas, what is the right percentage for me in my business? It's a terrible question. It's a terrible question. If you focus on, I've been in the industry for 20 years, if you focus on, I use this product, they don't care. If you focus on, I can get this done in your time frame, that's the outcome for them. Sell outcomes, sell results. The definition of sales is that point where we have the real conversation for the reason why you're there. The number one purpose of having a live conversation around the value, which is the reason why you're there, is so they can understand. Hey guys, welcome to the Painter's Circle, where we help painting business owners scale their operations, increase profitability, and gain more time freedom. I'm Tas Moulis, and in this podcast, I'll share actionable tips, expert strategies, and real-world insights that'll help you grow your painting business without burning you out. Ready to take your painting business to the next level? Let's go. Oh yeah! Hey guys, trust you super well. Well, do you want to know what the most asked question I get around painting business owners improving in their business? It is sales. It has got to be the number one topic that I consistently get asked. Tas, how do I make more sales, improve my conversion rate, or more importantly, how do I charge what I'm worth? This is not something that's going to be a quick fix, but I'm going to share with you today what I feel is going to make a significant difference in your sales, in the profitability of your business, and winning profitable jobs. Now, people have this concept of sales that it's a dirty word. For me, sales is actually being of service. Your ability to connect with and build relationships with your ideal clients is actually based on your ability to be of service. For me, sales is in every part of life. But what happens is when we get into business, we feel like that we have to be selling. We have to sell to the next client, to the next customer. And we get into this position of needing something. That is the worst space to come from when you want to win more profitable jobs. Now, for me, sales covers every part of business. We are selling to our potential clients that we want to be of service to. We're actually selling ourselves to attract our ideal team members to join our team. But we're also selling ourselves to our stakeholders, those partners that help us perform our services, to come on board and support us in performing those services to our clients. Now, today I'm going to focus on your ability to improve creating a better sales process in your business so you can continue to attract the right people to your business. So I'm going to talk in frames, I'm going to talk in principles, but I'm going to give you some real information that's really going to change the trajectory of your sales and your business. One thing I learned over 10 years ago from a gentleman named Marshall Thurber, very smart guy, and Bill Allen, was when building a relationship with someone, and in particularly in the context of sales, this concept of being interested versus being interesting. You're probably thinking, what does that mean, Tas? Well, whenever I am working with a client and we're role playing, because I love to role play in sales, because that's the best way to learn, is predominantly what happens as a painting business owner, they come off as being interesting to their potential client. So they go into a sales conversation, a proposal, a quotation, a tender, whatever it happens to be for you and your business, and they focus on being interesting. So they're over talking about themselves. Things like, I've been in the industry for 10 years. We are reliable. We employ our own staff. We use X product. We. Being interesting is only interesting to you and not to your prospective client. Try this instead. Be interested in them. It's a very different perspective of how to have a conversation with someone. Being interested means you're going to ask questions. Remember what I said? Selling is actually being of service. How can you be of service if you're not actually being interested in them? So interested versus interesting. Being interested means asking questions like, is this a sooner thing or a later thing? Why do you need this done? What are you looking for? Why is this important to you? Focusing on what is the outcome for your client. When you are interested, this is what happens when you're interested. When you're being interested in someone else, and in this case, a prospective client of yours or lead, you are naturally becoming interesting to them. See the dynamic? When you are interested in them, you become interesting to them. Here's another example. Have you ever been to a barbecue or a party and you're with a group of people and there's someone in the group of people that seems to be very interested in you and asking you questions about yourself, and you seem to be talking and engaging with them, but you walk away and you don't really know anything about them, but you know that you feel like this guy was cool, or this chick I was talking to was really cool. It was because they were being interested in you. So number one, selling is actually being a service. More importantly, if you can just be interested in the person that you're talking to, you will naturally become interesting to them. And if you're interesting to them, guess what's going to happen? They're going to like you. They're probably going to trust you. And it's going to be a much easier conversation when you start asking them questions around what's important to them, why do they need this done, and when it is done by. Cool? Cool. Another part of sales is, this is a really interesting dynamic, that when I'm talking with painting business owners, they feel like every sale is for them. It's so hard to come from that position, because not every client is for you. You cannot service every single client. Now, I know what you're saying. Tas, I can do it all. I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that. I can help everyone. You probably can. But if you're going to be all things to all people, you're going to struggle in business. So sales process is actually a disqualification process. It's our job, when we're being interested in someone and of service to them, to find out, what is it do they want? How is it can I help them? Can I actually help them get the result that they want? Versus, I can do it all, I'll work something out, and I'm going to be really busy being busy. So the sales process, as much as you want to win everything, is about working out who is the right fit for you. Now, I had this aha moment. It would be at least 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. A hard reality where I realized, and you may realize this someday too, and it can't be just me, that when I'm talking to people, there's a chance that they don't actually like me. That's okay. We are not made for all people. If we have got 10 conversations and I have 10 meetings, there's a high chance, 1 to 2, maybe more, I'm only being, being funny here. There's a chance that I won't gel with someone, and that's okay. That's part of working with people, because there's no fun working with people that you don't actually get along with, for you nor them. So don't feel like it's your job to win every single quotation, proposal, meeting. It really is about finding out who's the right fit, because if you can find out of the 10 people that's coming to your business each week and each month, who are the ideal 4 to 6 people, you've just saved yourself 40% of the effort working with people that they may not be the right fit for you, and you may not be the right fit for them. So I just want you to understand, you're not meant to win all jobs as much as you want to, and I'll get into conversion rates in a minute. You're not fit for all people. So it's a disqualification process. Now, getting on conversion rates. I don't want to overcomplicate it, and I don't want to get into a really complicated maths equation and get out a calculator, but conversion rates are the amount of jobs you've won divided into the amount of jobs you've quoted. So if you've done 10 quotes and you won 5, that's 50% conversion rate. So we're all cool on that, okay? Now, for me, conversion rates are a false economy, because it really depends on the number of quotes that you're doing or number of pros you're doing each month. Because if you quote 2 and you win 1, that's 50%, but that may not be enough to run your business. So conversion rates only serve one purpose: to track, are you percentages going up or down? You can't bank percentages. You can't take a percentage to the travel agent and say, hey, can you book me a ticket to Disneyland on my percentages? You can't. We bank dollars. So conversion rates really are a vanity metric. More importantly, if you want to drill down into conversion, for us, or for me particularly, it's much more important the quality of those conversions. So 1 is number, fair enough. We've won 5 against 10, that's 50%. That sort of gets you in the door so you know how you're tracking. 2 is the quality of that conversion. So how long do these people take to decide? So if you're winning jobs and it's taking 12 months to decide, well, the speed sucks. So the speed of the conversion is important. So not only do you want to have a conversion rate percentage that's benefiting your business, but you want a conversion rate that has a shorter time span. So speed and number. The third one, where everyone drops the ball, which spins back up into disqualification, is how many of the jobs are you winning for the people you want to work with? So the quality. So conversion for me has 3 metrics: the number, the speed, and the quality. You tick all 3, that's a better metric to start tracking in regards to conversion rates. Now, I hear this all the time, and I get it. As a painting business owner, we don't understand business, and we hear all these numbers being thrown around and about, like, oh, my conversion rate is 63%, or my conversion rate's 80%. Better yet, I love the one where it's, oh, I reckon it's about 90%. I've spoken to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of painting business owners. If I was to accurately estimate the percentage of people that actually track their numbers, it'd be less than 5%. Less than 5%. So let's run with the 95% that are having a crack at it, which is great to know because they're going on gut feeling. The number one question I get around conversion rates is, Tas, what is the right percentage for me in my business? It's a terrible question. It's a terrible question because we're not taking into consideration time and we're not taking into consideration the quality. So having an 80% conversion rate when you're underpricing is a terrible metric. It's more important to win the jobs that you like working with in a shorter time frame with a higher percentage. So rather than focusing on conversion rates going, how do I win more sales and improve my conversion rate? How are we working on how do we win more jobs sooner with more of the people we like working for? Because not every client is for you. Cool? Cool. Just quickly, guys, if you're a painting business owner and you're overworked, overwhelmed, and underpaid, we can help. Hit the link below in the show notes to learn more. Now back to the episode. I want to share a secret that I'm not sure you're aware of or many painting business owners are aware of. Now, for the most part, when I'm talking to a painting business owner, they feel like they're really good at sales, or they got the gift of the gab, or they feel like they got everything under control, but they don't know why they're not winning the profitable jobs for the people they like working with more often. Now, this is my take on this, and I just want to share with you where I see you may be, but where I see most painting business owners get stuck. They mistake customer service with sales. And I'm going to explain what that means. When we're in a conversation, because for me, all conversions happen in conversations. So if you're not talking, you're not converting. When we're in conversations with our potential clients, whether it's doing a proposal or doing a live quotation, everything, every sentence, every word that you say and you communicate to that client when you're being interested, remember, not being interesting, up to the point before you make the offer, the proposal value, the price, the quote value, whatever that thing is, the dollar value of that job is customer service. It is not sales. So the game that we play when we are at someone's house or their business or their commercial property, and we're acquiring the information because remember, sales or service, and we're trying to find out by being interested, what is it that they need? How is it that can help them? How can I get them the outcome that they want? All that information is customer service. Not until you can present your offer. Now, your offer is what you need in exchange, money, to provide that outcome to the client. Everything up to that point is customer service. Once you present that offer, now we're in sales. Now I'm going to share with you exactly what happens, and I want you to tell me or share with me if this happens to you. You're in a conversation with a potential client. You're asking them all the questions. You're being interested. You're being of service. You're finding exactly what they want, when they want, how you're going to do it, and everything that you need to know. But do you feel like there's a white elephant in the room when you're having that conversation? That they know that there's a number coming, and you know that they know that there's a number coming, but no one's talking about the number? That awkward tension? Because here is what happens. Someone will fill in an inquiry form on your website, a Google ad, social media. They'll call you. So they'll book an appointment to get a quote for some work to get done at their house, business, or property. All right? That's how it starts. Now, they know it's going to cost something. They're not silly. They want to know how much it's going to cost. You know it's going to cost something. So you go to the meeting, you make the appointment, and you do the, what is it they call it? They do the, you're building rapport, which means you're just talking about the weather. Boring. And you start talking and talking and talking. We did this and we do that. I've been this long. I'm reliable. I got guys. I use this paint. I use that. I got this car. Blah, 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 blah. But they know a dollar's coming. They know there's a number, and you know there's a number, and everyone's avoiding this number. Do you feel that tension? Does it feel awkward? When you're getting to that point, have you ever backed off and you go, oh, I don't want to present it because what if they say it's too high? What if they say they accept it too fast and I'm too low? Does the fear kick in because we are concerned that we're going to get rejected? Whatever that feeling is at that point in time. So where customer service meets the point of sales. For me, the definition of sales is that point where we have the real conversation for the reason why you're there. You're not there to talk about the weather. As much as it's fun to do, and we sort of sidetrack into, oh, that's a nice dog. Oh, that's a lovely painting. Oh, you went over there. I get it. We talk, blah, 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 blah. But they know it's coming. You know it's coming, but we avoid this point. So when we're having this conversation now about improving your ability to attract and convert profitable clients into your business, that is the point I'm talking about with sales. Everything before that is customer service. Now, I know you're probably thinking, Tas, you're full of shit. It's all there. I'm building rapport. I want to get them to like and trust me. I've done the interested and I'm being of service. I get it. I get what you're saying. But this is what happens. This is the dynamic that happens when the, I don't know if it's the right analogy. I'm just the white elephant in the room, whatever it's called. The white elephant in the room. We bring it to the front and we go, da-da, here it is. This is what happens. They will either say yes, they will either say no, or they will give you some objection. That's the point. Sales is about handling the objections. Now, if you are like a typical painting business owner that I speak to, the number one objection that I hear is, Tas, everyone tells me I'm too dear, or I'm too expensive, or my price is high. Compared to what? And usually this dynamic happens after you've gone to the residence or business or property to work out and do the quotation or proposal. You don't do it live. Typically, you'll tell the client, hey, I've got all the information I need. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the office. I'm going to type it up and get it to you within 24, 48, 72 hours, whatever that time frame. Does that sound familiar to you? Have you ever said that before? And then you're doing that to justify to the client that this is a really complicated process and you have to go away and do this thing over here because you don't want to talk about the white elephant in the room, correct? Yes. They know it, you know it, and we're playing this, it's like doing the tango. We're doing this dance and we're pretending we don't know it's there. We all know it's there and we just move on. Then you send off this proposal. Could be look really cool with pictures and videos and blah, 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 blah. The client gets it. They open it up. Their objection could be timing. It could be talk to the partner. It could be they don't like that paint. They don't like that color. They don't like your font on your quote. Who knows what they don't like. But they're going to go, well, I really don't have anything to go off because you didn't handle my questions while I was there. They're not thinking that this is subconscious while you're on site. So they're going to tell you, oh, I got 3 quotes. You seem to be the highest. Your price is too high. That's the situation you're creating by not having the sales conversation with the person. The purpose The number one purpose of having the live conversation around the value, which is the reason why you're there. The number one reason why you're there is so they can understand what is the investment that they are going to need to provide to get the outcome that they want, whatever that outcome is. That is what they want. If you cannot deliver it live, how do you answer their potential question around that number? It's the only time that matters. So not being concerned with the fear of rejection, as potentially the client would go, wow, that's more than I expected. And you could go, oh, thanks, Tas. I appreciate you sharing that with me. Could you explain to me why you think that's expensive? And then they're going to say something like, well, I've got 3 quotes and Jimmy did this and Johnny did this and you're this. And then you can go, well, do you mind if I have a look at those quotes? And you can go through it and handle that objection. So the objection, all the objection is they need more information. And it's highlighted that throughout the conversation of being of service and interested, you haven't identified that that is their main objection. So my point is everything up until that point where you present your proposal is customer service. You need to have customer service. I get it. But I want you to understand is that is not sales. Sales is when you commit and present what the proposal is. Because for you, this can get a bit complicated. The number doesn't need to be 100% accurate. The number is positioning where your client is at, because all you want is feedback. Your job is feedback. The feedback could be body language. You could get a face that goes, holy shit. That alone qualifies the client that not the right fit. The feedback could be, you've done a proposal for, let's say it's $10K, $10,000, and they come out and tell you, oh, listen, I've got a budget of 2. You've just disqualified that client as well. The feedback is the number one thing you need once that's presented. You cannot move forward without feedback. You cannot correct. You cannot answer objection. Their objection could be, I need it done within 4 weeks and you didn't handle objection. So when you send the proposal and they come back and say, oh, we've gone with someone else, but you didn't realize that they had a timing issue, you couldn't answer that objection live and sorted that problem out. So I really want to get this home to you. Do not mistake sales as customer service. You're probably really, really good at that. I would love you to start practicing how can I present my proposal while I'm in front of the client, because that is the true indication. That is the real data. That is the absolute real feedback that you're going to get to determine, am I the right fit? Are they the right fit? And more importantly, how can I be of service to this person? You can't do it. You're just guessing. So what I'm trying to highlight here and really give you a different perspective of sales, and I want to give you the quickest fix, because for the most part, if you're a painting business owner today and you're listening to this, you are more than likely attracting leads and doing quotes. So you're doing the reps, which is awesome, by the way. And what I want to do is give you just a bit of context of how do you flip that switch and go from whatever you're winning right now to winning more of the jobs faster with a higher percentage of the people you like working with. And that is when you're doing a presentation and proposal, so when you're on site being interested and being of service. So when you're of service, you're asking questions because your job is to get all the reasons why they would buy and all the reasons why they wouldn't buy. Is start thinking about all the objections, all the questions why people don't buy, and have those questions lined up while you're doing your customer service part of your presentation. Because when you get to the part where I'm encouraging you to move past that point of fear and move into sales to get the feedback and present that dollar figure, is I want you to get used to understanding the feedback and going back and answering their questions. Because if they have any questions, which is another way of saying they've got objections, it's because you didn't handle that question prior to that point. So your ability to watch what you're doing, critique what you're saying, and get to that point and get the real feedback is going to significantly improve the amount of profitable jobs you win for the people you like working for at a faster rate. I can't encourage you more than doing that. And it's the biggest fear that most painting business owners have, is having that confrontational conversation around the white elephant in the room. That is, what is this investment going to cost me? If you have it and you do it, you'll get better at it. Do it. What I like to do now, and this is something that I do with our clients, but I want to share with you today. I want to share this with you today because if you can grasp this concept, it is going to make your life so much easier and give you a better framework of how a profitable and winning sales process works, okay? Now, you've probably heard this a lot. You've got to demonstrate value. You've got to sell value. Well, in the real world of painting, you are probably asking, well, what does that mean? And then there's two parts of value, okay? There's the intrinsic value. So the intrinsic value is, as a painter, you're a painter, and you have spent 10 years learning your craft or more. You've done courses, you've done your apprenticeship, you've got, like I said, 10 years of experience. So you feel your value is based on you being a better painter, okay? And I'm not saying that's not valuable. I'm just giving you two sides of the coin. Intrinsic value is the first one, which is we sell, that is what we do. So then we start selling the products, the processes, the pieces of the puzzle, all the bits and pieces, the reliability. And you've probably heard of these before. The problem is your prospect client has heard it from everyone else. So I'm not saying it's not valuable. It's just not valuable to them. Here's a secret. They don't care. They don't care that it took you 10 years. They don't care that you spent 10 grand learning how to use a spray gun. That's great for you. That is not the outcome for them. So the flip side of that is, in a conversation, in the sales process, if you're focusing on the intrinsic value, which is what's important to you, not important to them, then you become another me too. Like everybody else lining up, talking about 10 years. I did 11. I did spray gun training. I did feature wall training. You're outdoing yourselves with all the bits and pieces that the client doesn't really give a crap. The other side of value is perceived value. What is perceived value? Perceived value is your ability to demonstrate that you can provide the outcome that they want, not what you want, what they want. So what you want is you want to win the job and make a ton of money. That's good for you, not for them. What they want to know is, can you complete this job as per this spec in this time frame without wrecking my garden, so my daughter's wedding in our back garden is going to be on time? That's what they want. So if you focus on their outcome, their result, the payoff for them, that is the value on this side of the equation. So I'm going to have my hands here. So we have the intrinsic value, which is selling to be being the better painter. This long, this, that, I've done this, all these stacks that you've done over here versus over here, what do they want? What is the outcome, the payoff, the result that they want? This is the value stack. So the contrast between this intrinsic value and the perceived value is the conversation that you're actually having with them. If you focus on the bits and pieces, you're going to be like everybody else. If you focus on the outcome for them, you are completely going to game change everything. You're going to blow everyone out of the water, and you're going to be wondering why, how come we're winning more jobs? Because you're interested in them. You're focusing on their outcome. Focus on the outcome. No one buys you. They buy the outcome. That sounds really good, Tas, but can you break that down into make it really simple for me? Certainly can. So from a intrinsic value, which is the things, the stuff, if you focus on, I've been in the industry for 20 years, you focus on, I can get this done in your time frame. That's the outcome for them. If you focus on, I use this product, they don't care. I will use the products that are going to last you 20 years and have an unlimited warranty or have a warranty system. Outcome for them. If you focus on, We're reliable. I don't even know what that means. We're reliable. Everyone's reliable. But you're dead in the water. And you focus on, we guarantee to have your house ready and finished in the time frame so you can have your event, or you can move in, or you can move out, or you can sell. Outcome. Sell outcomes. Sell results. Sell the payoff for them. Don't focus on your skills, the payoff for you. They're not buying you. They're buying the outcome. Know the difference. Thanks for sticking around this long and listening to me have a chat about sales. This is my favorite subject. This is so much that I have these sales conversations and sales trains that go for 2 days. So I'm a massive advocate of learning how to improve your sales. So I want you to walk away with one piece of information that you can execute in your business right now. And I want you to take this away, this perspective, the perspective of customer service and sales. I want you to start thinking about this week, next week, how much time, how many minutes, hours a day are you spending talking about up to the point of presentation of the proposal? And how many minutes, I won't even go into hours, are you spending presenting that proposal live? Because if you can balance that out, it's going to change your world. Your ability to transition past that uncomfortable, and I get it, it's uncomfortable. It's confronting. We don't like being rejected. It's okay. Not everyone is for you. Be like me. They're not going to like you. That's cool. Just get over it and move past that point. Get past that white elephant in the room. The more you do that, the better you get at it. The better you get at crossing that line, you're going to win more profitable jobs more often. Stay cool. Hey guys, if you got value from today's episode, make sure to subscribe so you never miss expert tips. If you want some support, check out the link in the show notes and see how we can help you. Don't forget to follow us on socials @PainterCoach. Stay cool, be well, and as usual, see you in the interwebs. Bye.